Anime has recently become a hugely popular media outlet in the West, what with the recent success and mainstream craze of shows like My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan. What led up to this point? I seek to show the most influential shows and company practices that have helped anime reach this peak in Western media. Akira for many was one of the first anime-related media that people in the West could get to experience that had a more adult tone to it. Akira was beautiful. It was brutal. And it was weird. While Akira definitely didn't break the mold of anime being weird, it for sure broke the mold that anime was only for kids and perverts. In breaking this mold, Akira helped show what anime could really be, that it could take on a multitude of storytelling molds and make them into something great, that anime could be more than this niche market in Western media, that it could step up with the best of the best and prove itself. This is where anime began its steps into Western media mainstream. Akira's influences in Western media can still be seen today. One such influence is Kanye West's Stronger music video, where there was multiple references to Akira. I know I got to be right now, 'cause I need you right now, right now.
Tatsuo, it's time for your medicine. Doctor, it's an emergency! I need you to hurry up now.
Hey there! You can't leave your room without permission! Okay, you'll be all right. What's going on here?
What is this?
I need you right now. You know how long I've been on ya. Since Prince was on Apollonia. Since OJ had isotoners. Don't act like I never told ya.
There's no use in hiding.
There's no other way! Use your guns! We've got to prevent him from getting any closer!
Stranger Things, an incredibly popular show produced by Netflix, is one such show that also takes huge inspiration from Akira. The character 11 in the show has powers that are extremely similar to the anti-hero Tetsuo. Toonami started on March 17, 1997, but then was hosted by the Space Ghost character Moltar. It didn't become the influential Toonami we know today until July 10, 1999. During this time is when it brought the anime to our TV screens, with the likes of shows like Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Inuyasha, and Cowboy Bebop. Toonami helped make anime easily accessible to anyone that had cable, which, up to this point, was unheard of. Instead of having to rely on people to bring it over from Japan and add their own sub or dub to the media, which were often not accurately translated. Toonami braved the way for anime to become acceptable in Western media, just as Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Had done for children over the year prior. There are also some non-traditional anime-esque shows that appeared on Toonami that made non-anime fans delve deeper into the block's other offerings. One of these shows was Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack was wildly popular among anime fans and non-anime fans alike, since the storytelling roots were similar to anime. People's desire to watch Samurai Jack also led them to stay tuned into Toonami and watch some of the anime shows that were airing during the rest of the Toonami block. Which at the time with Samurai Jack, some of their big contenders were Dragon Ball Z, Cowboy Bebop, and the recently added Naruto. Eventually, Toonami fell out of popularity. After its 11-year run, the original block's final broadcast was on January 30th, 2009.
Well, this is the end, beautiful friends. After more than 11 years, this is Toonami's final broadcast. It's been a lot of fun, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you who've made this journey with us. Toonami wouldn't have been anything without you. Hopefully, we've left you with some good memories. So, until we meet again, stay gold. Bang.
Anime did still continue to play in the Adult Swim bracket, just not under the name Toonami. That was until April 1st, 2012. That night was packed full on classic anime, and the next day Adult Swim asked on Twitter if the people wanted it back. Apparently, people definitely wanted it back, as Adult Swim announced it would be returning on May 26, 2012, with a few new shows like Deadman Wonderland and Eureka 7, keeping its mature audience. In the current year, Toonami has even begun showing shows in Japanese dub with English subtitles. This progression of Toonami shows just how much anime has become acceptable in the West.
Eyes, Faye. One of them is a fake because I lost it in an accident.
Cowboy Bebop was the anime that Western fans could fully relate to. It focused greatly on a Western theme, drawing inspiration from movies like Star Wars and Blade Runner. It was a show that was basically the Old West in space, set in 2071. Where Cowboy Bebop drew the West in with its Wild West in space theme, it kept people watching with its deep characters and interesting story.
There once was a tiger-striped cat. This cat died 1,000,000 deaths, revived and lived 1,000,000 lives. And he was owned by various people who he didn't really care for. The cat wasn't afraid to die. Then one day, the cat became a stray cat, which meant he was free. He met a white female cat, and the two of them spent their days together happily. Well, years passed, and the white cat grew weak and died of old age. The tiger-striped cat cried 1,000,000 times. And then he died too. Except this time, he didn't come back to life.
Cowboy Bebop followed an episode design that wasn't similar to most anime either. It followed something more similar to a show like Family Guy, where each episode had its own story to complete, yet there was still an overarching connectedness of it all. This was another thing familiar to Westerners, allowing them to more easily accept Cowboy Bebop. The show's deep themes were still embedded in Japanese culture and anime themes, however. This is the key that got Cowboy Bebop lovers to appreciate other anime shows that had less of a Western motif to them. Cowboy Bebop was a gateway drug for them into anime.
Bang.
Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli are masters of animation and storytelling. Studio Ghibli's name carries as much weight as anyone, even if compared to somebody like Marvel. Their movie Spirited Away was the first anime film to win an Oscar ever. You can pretty much ask anyone, what's your favorite Studio Ghibli movie? And they will become giddy talking about their favorite movie. Studio Ghibli generally sticks to fantasy tales with stories like Princess Mononoke, My Neighbor Totoro, and Spirited Away. These movies all tackle hard life problems that have true morals to be learned from. But these aren't all that Studio Ghibli tackles. They also tackle real-life tragedies, like the fire bombings of Japan in their movie Grave of the Fireflies. Studio Ghibli's movies will fill their audience with wonder, sadness, happiness, and almost any other emotion that you can think of. They are pioneers of storytelling. They have countless amounts of tributes from other shows and become a worldwide phenomenon. Studio Ghibli's influence in the uprise of Western anime relevance cannot be understated.
Who's a sleepy little man? My name is the Little King. What is your name?
Why didn't I stop with the snake wine? Why did I drink the fish wine?
That was the aquarium.
You didn't see nothing. Scram!
I am ruined by whimsy.
Netflix has become one of America's largest supporters of anime. Netflix has begun publishing their own original shows like Devilman Crybaby. They're also making movies. Some are a live-action adaptation of anime like their new Death Note movie, and some are anime movies like the new Godzilla movie. Netflix is extremely serious about anime, getting the rights to shows like Attack on Titan and looking to add more as well as publish some more of their own. A while ago, you couldn't even find anime shows on Netflix, and now their options are plentiful, with shows like the aforementioned Attack on Titan, One Punch Man, and Seven Deadly Sins. With Netflix as big in the West as it is, their interest in anime can only increase its parade into the mainstream. While some longtime viewers dislike the rights distribution of anime between companies like Netflix, Crunchyroll, Funimation, and Amazon, it can't be denied that the interest these companies are putting into anime will help more casual viewers garner an interest. Anime has come a long way from its meager beginnings to now proudly being shown on buildings at Times Square and having a float in the Thanksgiving parade. Anime will continue to get bigger and bigger with shows like My Hero Academia, which also has huge Western influence from the likes of DC and Marvel leading the charge.